Good afternoon. We begin at 4 o'clock with breaking news, a major announcement at the State House and a convention coming downtown. This is the head of the NRA speaking, and let's listen in.
And so it's so important that we pass these traditions on to the next generation of American. And so the National Rifle Association is very proud to be able to do that in concert with the great state of Indiana. So with that, we're delighted to be here, and we're looking forward to 2029. We're looking forward to the spring of April 2029 to be back in Indianapolis. We're expecting well over 75,000 people that will be in attendance during that show. Thank you very much, Governor.
Thank you.
All right, we're going to move the podium out of the way and do a start.
Okay.
All right, so you caught the last half of that announcement from the State House, the head of the National Rifle Association explaining that they will be bringing their convention or keeping their convention in the city of Indianapolis. Governor Mike Braun also spoke, and we'll be sure and hear from him. Our Emily Longnecker is there, and we have a crew there, and we'll have much more on that developing story. You know, tourism and hospitality is a huge part of not only the Indianapolis economy, but the statewide economy. So no surprise that the governor would want to make a big deal out of this big convention, one of the biggest in the country, coming to the city.
So it'll be interesting if they will focus more so on the political impact or even the financial impact of what it could mean.
More to come.
All right, so let's turn to weather. Of course, it's Monday and it is such a dreary day outside.
And we've had rain and storms on this narrow band, like not a whole lot north or south, but right through Indianapolis.
And at noon, they were a little more impressive, I will say, for someone who may have a kid playing some sports this evening. They have weakened, so that's a little bit of good news. Let me show you what's going on camera network-wise. Yeah, we've got the cloud cover around. Here's the vantage point from Bloomington at this hour. Seeing a little bit of sun trying to work in there. Here's the north side of Indy at this hour, overcast for the most part. And now let me show you temperatures with radar. Here's what's left of some of these downpours. We had some rumbles of thunder. Likely going to see some of this cloud cover thin out a bit, and take a look at the temperature spread, would you? 75 in Kokomo, near 80 degrees in Bloomington. We had cloud and we've had some rain here in Indy, and we're 66. So there is a little bit of an axis that's draped over the I-70 corridor. It will keep these showers in play and some rumbles of thunder, but you can see the trend, at least over the last couple of hours, has been a weakening of this rainfall. Not all of it, but a lot of it here. But bottom line, we'll put in about a 20 or 30% chance that we're going to have some showers between now and 8 or 9 o'clock. Again, here's the view from Indy, where we're 66 with the south wind at 10 miles per hour. Now, there is potential as we go through the evening and overnight. We got a stronger front coming in from the north, and where we've had some of that bigger heating, we could see some new storms developing as we go through the evening. It's something we'll be paying attention to. Not every storm is going to be severe, but a couple of severe thunderstorm warnings are a possibility, with some 60-mile-per-hour gust and maybe some quarter-sized hail in some of those stronger cells. This is part of a step down in temperatures. We'll have more on that. Tuesday is going to be an interesting day. I'll explain. And a chill down in the 7-day forecast here in a few minutes.
All right, another cool down, Sean. Thank you. This afternoon, we are hearing more from a community shaken by gun violence. Indianapolis Metro Police say a 38-year-old woman died and 3 people were hurt in a shooting after midnight Sunday.
It happened just off of 40th and Park. Ella Roach joins us now. And Ella, you've been covering the shooting yesterday as well as today.
Yeah, neighbors are still very much shocked by that shooting. They say their neighborhood is quiet and family friendly, where not much happens, so this really just caught them all off guard. So IMPD confirmed that the shooting happened outside this yellow house where people threw a post-prom after party. That home is also a short-term rental. Now, shots broke out around 1 a.m. Several neighbors told us they heard 2 rounds of gunfire, about 60 shots total. Gunfire even hit several nearby homes. One neighbor showed us a bullet that went through his front window, couch, and then it also went through a wall and then stopped at the back door of his home. Another neighbor, who didn't want to share their name with us for his safety, says the gunfire woke him up.
Then I heard like a rat-a-tat-tat, and I could tell something was really going on. So I peeked out my window and kind of saw some kids running around, just kind of scared, running to different houses. And the next thing you know, there's sirens going off for police and ambulance, and then you hear a helicopter.
We followed up with IMPD today, but they declined to do an interview. They did say it's an isolated incident. Now, neighbors also plan to attend a meeting this Wednesday with IMPD and their city county councilor representative to discuss the shooting.
So you mentioned police say this has happened at an after prom party. Do we know what school the students went to?
We have not yet gotten that confirmation from IPS, but I have been in touch with them throughout the day to find out.
Okay, and we also know that the city requires rental properties to register. Is this one registered?
So this is a good point to note that the Department of Businesses and Neighborhood Services updates that list each month. Now, the home on North Park Avenue actually was not listed as of April, but it's possible that it's listed for May. We're just starting a new month, so, you know, we'll see. We'll see.
Okay.
All right. Well, thanks for looking into it and staying on top of it. Appreciate it. Thank you, Ella. We now know the name of the 20-year-old woman killed in a shooting on Indy's west side. It happened just before midnight Saturday near Rockville Road in Auburn. That's where police found Ashlyn Owens in critical condition, and she died after arriving at the hospital. So far, police have not released any information about a suspect or potential motive.
This afternoon, a truck crashed into a bridge in downtown Indy. This was the scene at Meridian Street in Louisiana around 1:30. It appears the top of the truck hit the bottom of the bridge, and you could see it really caused part of the cargo to fall off the trailer. No word on any injuries in this. And today is International Firefighters Day, recognizing the men and women who respond to our emergency calls.
But in many Indiana communities, at least some of those firefighters are volunteers, and there is a serious shortage right now. Rich Nye went to Monroe County today to learn about the effort to attract a new younger generation of volunteers.
I enjoy riding on the ladder trucks more because every once in a while they give you an opportunity to get up and get up in the boom.
Ian White is a 21-year-old salesman, but he's also training to be a volunteer firefighter with the Monroe Fire Protection District. White is exactly the kind of young person needed to replenish the aging ranks of volunteer firefighters in Indiana and across the country.
This is a hustle worth having. Volunteer today.
Hustle Worth Having is a national campaign targeting Gen Z and young millennials to consider volunteer firefighting as a way to support their community. More than 80% of fire departments in Indiana are staffed at least partially by volunteer firefighters.
Give back to your community in their time of need. When somebody calls 911, who's going to show up? We need people to show up and be able to perform the tasks when there's an emergency.
Volunteer firefighters are not paid but receive the same training as career firefighters.
If you're doing it really for the service and for the work, then you'll find the time. And it's no question when you get that call and whatever you're doing, there's somebody else out there that needs you more than you need you at that moment.
Volunteer work that might be life-saving. In Monroe County, Rich Nye, 13 News.
And this national recruitment campaign is funded by a grant from the Federal Emergency Management Agency. And tonight, coming up at 5:30, you're going to meet another young volunteer firefighter in training just about to graduate from IU. I love that, what he said. In some instances, someone needs you more than you need you.
Yeah, and that's usually how these volunteer firefighters end up looking at their work and what they're doing and the impact it has on a small community.
We certainly thank them. More to come.
Election Day is tomorrow, and if you didn't take part in early voting, here's a few things you should probably know before heading out to the polls. You'll want to visit indianavoters.in.gov. Here you can check your voter registration status and what location is closest to you. You'll also be able to still register to vote here, but that only goes until 11:59 tonight. All polls around the state will open at 6 a.m. on Tuesday and then close at 6 p.m. And just as a reminder, if you are in line at 6 p.m., you still will be allowed inside to vote.
Well, if you missed this year's IU Health 500 Festival Mini Marathon or Delta Dental 500 Festival 5K, your chance to sign up for next year's is already here. You can start training too. Plenty of time. Registration for the 2027 Mini Marathon and 5K is now officially open. So starting now through May 12th, you can register for a lower price of $75 for the Mini and $40 for the 5K. Next year's Mini and 5K, by the way, will take place May 8th, and we've got all the details with this story. You can find it at WTHR.com. You can start training right now, Sean.
I know, he looked right at us.
Yeah, I'm already working on that forecast. That's what I'm training for here.
Thank
Of course,
you.
we got a big one later this month.